I grew up in the best decade ever, the 80s. Did you know that the first internet appliance was a vending machine at Carnegie Mellon in 1982? Yeah, fast forward to today, and everything is connected and social, from cars to refrigerators to coffee makers. Smart products are synonymous with the Internet of Things, or IoT. Embedded electronics are driving these smart products, and because consumers are demanding smaller handheld devices, the power densities have gone up exponentially, resulting in a variety of design and manufacturing challenges. It has become necessary for electrical and mechanical design teams to work together to solve these challenges. SOLIDWORKS offers the perfect complement for the IoT manufacturer. PCB for laying out the smart electronics on the board, and Flow Simulation for managing the thermal performance. Now let's take a look at some of the new features in 2019 Flow Simulation and how it can help you bridge that gap between the ECAD and MCAD teams. The PCB team just handed me this new smart refrigerator design to check out the thermal performance. I've run the original design. Here you can see the temperature and flow patterns. These results help me to identify problem areas in the design. Here there is a buildup of heat towards the top of the enclosure that can't escape properly. I'm going to add a vent there and lower the back enclosure to test to see what happens. It's clear that the temperatures have dropped off significantly. Now going back to the board, I see that there's a set of 5 capacitors here that should be really moved down away from the heat rising up from the CPU and heatsink. I'll move those down right here, 42 millimeters from the bottom. I'm going to push these changes to the PCB design team to make sure that they've been alerted to the changes.
I'm going to check on our smart refrigerator project from a PCB perspective to see if the simulation team has made any changes to the design. Upon opening the design, I'm immediately notified of any changes that may have been made. By selecting View Changes, I see an animation of the proposed change made by Joe. I can clearly see he's moved a row of discretes from above the thermal relief to below it. Those discretes are 42 millimeters above the bottom edge of the board. I'll go ahead and accept these changes, and the change makes sense, since 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything in it. This is very valuable feedback because I didn't foresee this issue when initially placing those components. Joe caught this issue before handing this off to the fab house, saving us time and money. Since switching to SOLIDWORKS PCB, we have grown to rely on this type of collaboration between our PCB design and mechanical teams. I'll go ahead and clean up the changes, reroute the nets, perform one last design rules check, and get this out to manufacturing. In fact, it only took seconds to receive this data from Joe, and now I have more confidence in the performance of this PCB design.
Embedded electronics is in almost every product that we come into contact with today. This demand will only grow further in support of an IoT ecosystem where billions of devices will be communicating with each other. Being competitive and innovative in the marketplace requires tighter collaboration among the PCB and mechanical design teams, and our solution delivers to this end. There is no other CAD software out there enabling this level of collaboration between PCB and mechanical design teams. You need to be thinking about how you answer these questions. How critical is it to understand thermal performance, airflow patterns, and predicting optimal component layout on your PCBs? How do you facilitate the collaboration between your PCB and mechanical design teams? And what steps are you currently taking to comply with testing standards such as UL testing?
A combination of SOLIDWORKS, Flow Simulation, and PCB delivers on the promise of a complete design and manufacturing solution for the Internet of Things industry by successfully bringing together the work of the electronics and mechanical design teams. Now is the time to contact your SOLIDWORKS value-added reseller to ask them more about this solution and how you can integrate these software tools into your company's design to manufacturing process.